Hey, 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 it's your girl, Barbie J. Hey, hey, did you see that? Hey, everybody, how y'all doing out there? Hey, it's another week, and it's time to do our recap for Tyler Perry's Sisters, Season 2, Episode 8, Moving On. And it seemed like everybody was moving on. But you know what? I got to tell y'all, I love this show. I love it because it's a dramedy. It got the drama, it got the comedy, and I like laughing. So the dramedy is great. It's great. But before we go on, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving because some of y'all will not stay on this to the end. So happy Thanksgiving. Be safe, social distance. Do all that. You know that's what you're supposed to do. You know, we want this virus to go away, okay? I need to get my job back. And we gotta take care of this. And then also let me give my shout outs to my commenters and followers in the commenting section. There's Bobby Ray, there's V Carter, there's Karen Wilson, Ty Harrell, Belinda Ward, and always Mimi. And I think that's how it's pronounced, Mimi. I like that. Always Mimi. Of course, you know, this started off the way it ended with Preston in the apartment, and he sees, what is that? The bartender comes out of the bathroom butt naked. Oh my God. It's just, the bartender's just silly too. But Preston gets mad. He walks away. Danny and her funny self, she's just making faces like, wait, can I come? She don't know what to say. Danny's trying to hold on. Preston leaves. The naked dude is standing there talking about bartender, standing there going, you know, so what's up? Like he trying to get back in the bed. She's like, dude, get your stuff and go. He's like, where am I go? She said, you go to hell, far as I'm concerned. She's like, but you got to get up out of here. And she said, get your stuff. She said, go get dressed. She said, matter of fact, just take your stuff and go. Grab and go. Grab and go. I was like, oh my God. She don't even care. She was like putting him out. Oh my God. And so while that was happening, in comes Zach. Zach decided he was going to offer her a ride to work, which was nice. But he came in to see all of this going on. He's like, what is going on, Danny? And he is laughing. He's cracking up. She said, oh, you going to come here and give me a ride. How cute. When I'm going to ride on your handlebars with your little bicycle. And he's like, I got keys to a truck. And stuff. She's like, well, good, because I don't have no gas in my car. And they get in the car, and he's just a mess. He's like still teasing her. She's sitting there going, wait, whose car is this? Whose car is this? He talking about it's my car. See? He started lying right away. Why he gotta lie? Why, brothers, why y'all gotta lie? Just tell the truth. It's my car, you know. She said, get me out of here. I'm getting out of here. She said, because this ain't your damn car. You know, she was like, no way. She's like, let me out because we about to get arrested and I ain't trying to go down with you. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. And I just said, those two, all the funny people. Zach has a little comedy in him too sometimes. Oh, excuse me, guys. I am so tired. It is like late at night. And I have family in the house, so I had to move my spot where I do all my reviews so they could go to bed. And so I'm up late trying to get this done. So anyway, so they're in the car riding and driving. They're driving to work. And Fatima calls him. And he's like, I had a good time last night. And me too. And then he's like, who the hell is that? You know, who's that on your phone? And so she grabbed the phone and stuff, and she grabs the phone and she's trying to see who it is, and she said, Fatima. who does Fatima? I had it Fatima, but Fatima, she was saying. And Zach's like, give me my phone back. Stop playing. You better give me my phone. I'm going to crash this car. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. He doing all this stuff. He ain't going to do it. You're going to kill yourself. So she's like, oh, okay. He said, look, I moved on. And she's like, oh, what about Karen? He's like, look, Karen done moved on. I moved on. I ain't dating you. I ain't dating Karen no more. She said, oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So they going back and forth with stuff. And so he said, I'm going to call her back and you better not say nothing. So he calls Fatima back and she's like, oh, I hope I didn't say the wrong thing. And he's like, no, you didn't say the wrong thing. And she's like, well, he better be doing, this is just Danny pretending she's his girlfriend. He gonna give me some money for this baby and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, that's not my girlfriend. That's not nothing. That's my friend and my co-worker. And I'm just giving her a ride. And she just trying to make you jealous. And Fatima's like, it sounds like it's a little bit more than that. Like she got other issues. She said, oh, you trying to read me? Oh, girl, don't come. She said, acting like she know me. She don't know me. So anyway, they go and they get off the phone. And she goes, after they talking about how much of a good time they had, she goes, bye, co-worker. And she said, girl, don't be coming for me. You know, like you don't know me, but Danny's in a pissy mood. And she's in a pissy mood the whole time. Because even later, Zach tries to come and see her, right? Zach tries to come and see her and talk to her. And she's up there leaving a message for Preston. And Zach brought her sandwich or something. He brought her sandwich. And she was like, she later on didn't want that sandwich. Tell him to take his sandwich and go. But she was in a mood. And they were going back and forth. And she's like, why are you trying to be so nice to me? She asked him, what are you doing, affirmations now? And I started laughing because that's what he asked Fatima when he was in her bed, right? So she's like, what are you trying to be nice? And he's like, I'm trying to have good spirit and be good to people and blah, 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 you know. And, you know, I guess he feels that if you're good to people, good comes back to you, which is true. It really is true. Sometimes it don't feel like it, but it is. And she's like, what is it with you men folk? You know, she started going in, and it's not really about Zach. It's all about Preston, and she's pissed. And later on, he goes, I'm your friend, and I just, you know, I love you, and that's, I want to be honest with you, because she told him what Preston did. Because he's like, just tell me what he did. What did he do that was so bad? And he was like, you the one who chose to date a white boy. So, a white man, he said. He said, or used to, because I doubt if he want to be with you anymore. He said, but now you can't get mad when the white boy acts like a white boy. And she said, oh, because he white, he get to be excused. That don't sound right. And he's telling her, you got to train him and stuff. She said, oh, now that's my responsibility. You know, they back and forth. I said, these two are too funny. But she said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go call my girls. I'm going to just call my girls the more intelligent sex. There you are. And he's like, what? That's what? So they could tell you, oh, so they could lie and say, girl, that's wrong. And be on your side and stand with you. You know, he said, that's not going to make you a better person. It's like, it's not going to make you a better person. And he's absolutely right about that. Real friends could tell you the truth. I guess it's the way you tell him, but, you know, I had to agree with him on that, you know, I really did. So anyway, let's move on to Fatima. It's at the office, and Andy comes in. She's telling Andy, we've been calling you. Who? Me and Hayden, you know, just follow his lead, you know, you know. And she's like, okay. She goes in there, and then big boss is in there. I can't remember what his name was. And he's letting her know that Bellamy's been fired. And he's giving her this speech. And she started to interrupt. And Hayden said, let him finish. And she's telling him, you know, he said, you should have come to me. And she said, I couldn't because Bellamy wouldn't let me and stuff. And you said, excuse me, but you said that it starts from the bottom to work its way up, meaning you don't want me to bother, you don't want to be bothered until you don't exhausted all your avenues.
So he was like, and then Hayden jumped in and defended her, saying, I don't think she's being argumentative. I think she's just making a case and stating, the facts. So, they talking legal lawyer. You got to state the facts. And, so he offered her $1 million settlement, $1 million and a great recommendation. And she's like, what? And Hayden's like, well, what you've been going through. She said, so should I settle? She said 1.7 million. What did she say? Did she say 1.2? 1.7. And see you in court. No, she said 1.2 or something like that. No, and then she said 2 million. Then she said 2 million. He said 1.7 and I'll see you in court. She said 1.2 and you'll see me at work. That's what she told him. Something. No, 2 million and I'll see you at work. And he said, well, that's highly unusual. You want me to pay you and then you still gonna come into the office? He's like, I'm not paying you a settlement and give you $2 million settlement and give you your job back. He said, do you still want to work here? She said, I love it here. I want to work here. I got to work here. I like this place. So Andy told him that she wanted Bellamy's job. That was one of the things she wanted, Bellamy's job on the board. She said, we need diversity up in here. And she said, Fatima needs a raise and a promotion. So he said, what I will do is I'll give you 1.2 and talk to my friends at the Justice Department to release your apartment and your savings. And he said, it won't get any better than that. That's what it was. I had to try to remember from my notes. So they shook hands, said partners. And she said, you going to give me all the other things? And that I asked, she said, yes. So she went to see her new office. They gave him Bellamy's office, and it was a nice office. And so she gets into the office, and here comes Fatima down the hallway with trying to find out what happened. And she was like, can you please get me a cup of coffee? And she's like, sure, I can do that for you. And she said, and bring it into my new office. She was like, girl, they got the sister girlfriend. Say what? How would you like that? Black like my men. Say what? So they went around about their business. But who else? Then they showed Karen. They showed Karen and her new client. Oh my God, this was so silly. Her new client was the first lady at some church called Love Givers Baptist Church. And Pam didn't tell her that. So Karen with her dirty mouth. Karen cursing and swearing. The lady had a big diamond ring on. And she said, oh, girl, I know you're not swinging that damn thing in front of me. Hell, this, that, and the other. Oh, and she said, Pam is like, oh, Karen, that's the first lady of the bus. She said, oh, damn. And she said, shit, I'm so, oh, Lord. She kept, the first lady was like, look, it's okay. It's okay. She said, no, because I got to check myself and clean my mouth, and whatever. She said, that's okay. As long, she said, that's what you got to do. But right now, it's okay. I mean, I do realize there are other people out there who say things certain ways. And she right. So that was cool. Like Pam said, she's a cool first lady. She understands, But then Karen going on like, you must be, that's us. You gonna come in here shining that ring up in my face and stuff. She was like, She said, he must be a good man. She said, yeah, he a good man. She said, you must be putting it on him. I said, oh, Lord. She said, yes, I am. I think that's when Pam came over and said something. She's like, yes. But the first lady was like, yeah, I'm putting it on him. I said, oh, shooky now. But Karen kept apologizing for her mouth and stuff. Anyway, she told her to just be herself. Then they showed Sabrina and Maurice. And Maurice is like, what's wrong with you? Because Sabrina's pouting the whole daggone time while she's at work. I said, oh, Lord, come on, Sabrina. Act professional. Act professional. You making it notice to the point where Maurice is asking you what's going on. Bitch, what's wrong with you? It's like, and she was like, oh, I kind of wanted to talk to you about something with what's his name, Calvin. And he said, well, what do you want to talk about? And she said, well, it's not really talk, it's more of a question. He said, bitch, what's the question? You're sitting here moving around and stuff. I said, oh, Lord. I don't know how many times he said, bitch. He in this episode. Had to be a dozen times. I swear. He was calling her bitch. So, she told him what the bartender said, that he saw Calvin doing crystal meth in the bathroom. He said, James told you that? James don't know. Well, James told, what she said, James told Danny, and Danny told me. And he's like, you gonna listen? You worry about me telling somebody, and you told her? Her mouth is like a girdle. Open it up and everything falls out. And I fell out. I was like, okay, I never heard that one before. You gotta use that. Everything. He said everything falls out. Mouth like a girdle. I tell you. What else? I'm so tired, y'all guys. But I'm getting through this. Andy and Fatima. Okay. So then it's back to, he told, so they're talking, Sabrina and Maurice are talking, and he tells her that that he knows Calvin. She said, how do you get to know Calvin so well, you know? And she's like, well, we're going to be roommates. She said, why? Why y'all going to be roommates? And she said, he got money. He said, well, he said something about his father and paying for the funeral and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, shit, he on that stuff because he making excuses. I tell you, that's what you got to realize. But somebody who's supposed to have money making excuses why they need a roommate, something ain't right. Something going on. Something just ain't right. Y'all remember that song? Oh, my goodness. So anyway, he gets mad at her. He's telling her she needs to ask him what's going on. She needs to be a big girl and find out what is going on. And she was like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. He said, and then she said, I'll do it. He said, was the shit you should have did in the first place. And that's what I was saying when I saw that episode. I'm like, why she don't just ask him? And somebody put in my comment section, that's what she does. That's why she don't keep nobody, because she's so busy listening to other people instead of asking for herself. Grow up, Sabrina. Grow up. Anyway, then they showed, did they show Andy and Fatima again? Andy, Fatima. Oh, and Fatima kept going in there with the coffee, and Andy realizes she want to know what's going on. And so Andy was like, this is what, she said, come here, girl, sit down. This is what I always do. When I tell my girls, I tell all my girls at the same time when I have good news. And she said, your girls? She's like, I'm one of your girls. She said, you better be. You had my back this whole time. You had my back. And she did. From beginning to end, Fatima had Andy's back. So she told her to meet her that night. Meet him they were going to go out and celebrate. And she was like, oh, okay. She said, okay. But she said, oh, I have a date tonight. She said, you know, I'll cancel it. Okay. She said, no, you okay? You could just bring them. I said, why you want to give good news and tell somebody to bring somebody new? First of all, she's new around your girls. And then you saying it's okay for her to bring this guy. I want her to bring him because I know it's Zach. And I would love for her to bring him to see how all the cookies crumble with Karen and all of them. And speaking of Karen, Karen called her after, wait. Yeah, Karen did call her after she finished doing that first lady's hair. And she saw the text because Andy sent out a text to all the girls saying, we're going to celebrate, blah, 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 blah. Let's do this. So that's going to be good. I can't wait till that happens. I hope and pray it happens because then it'd be some serious drama on this show. But, you know, she and, they left saying how they were so happy for each other. You know how Fatima was like, I'm so happy for you. But you know what? Andy was like, I'm happy for us. And I think she's talking about the sister thing. When she said us, like people, she's like, level up, level up. And I think that was I think that was a sister thing, honestly. So anyway, what else? Karen finished the first lady's hair, and the first lady walks out, and Karen goes over there and she's talking to Pam about these people. She's like, did you see them shoes she had on and that purse she was carrying, that rock? You know, like Karen's feeling like, you know, these people in the ministry and stuff, the pastors and stuff, when they have all these nice things, she feels that they're getting it off the backs of these hard, you know, these black folks, from poor black folks, you know. Because Pam is like, I always get blessed when I'm going there. When I see, that's my church, and I always get a blessing. And Karen just didn't feel that way. That was her feeling. But she was going on, and the first lady walked back in. She walked back in that place because she left her phone, and Karen was like, oh my gosh, did she think she heard me after she left? She said, she thinks she heard me? And Pam was like, I think so, because she coming back here. Karen was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. And she came back in there and said, can I speak to you for a moment? And she's like, outside. Karen's like, okay. And she said, look, I apologize for what you said. She said, no. You can speak your mind. You speak, you know, that's your opinion. So you could do that, you know. And that's why when Pam said she's cool, I could tell the way she was acting and how she handled it. And it was classy. She's a class act, that first lady, because she handled it much class. And made Karen feel bad because she read Karen like the Bible. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Like, I don't know how many books of it. Anyway, she let Karen know that her husband was a pro, because Karen had the nerve to ask, well, may I ask how you make your money? Because the first lady said, we don't make no money from that church. The only money we take from that church is to pay the workers at the church. So let me get you straight right now. She could have been like all of this. She could have been all of that, but she didn't do that. And so when she told Karen what she did with the money, Karen said, well, may I ask how you make your living? And she told him, my husband was used to be a pro baseball player, and then he invested in stocks and stuff like that. And she said that what did she say? She used to work on Wall Street, and she said they would have a lot of hedge funds and stuff. So she told her, Karen was apologizing profusely. You know, I'm sorry. But she said, don't let your opinion or your judgment stop you from knowing who the Lord is. And I said, hallelujah. And Karen was like, amen to that. And she said, I'm going to invite you to my church. You know, let me know when you're ready. I would like for you to come to church and see for yourself. And that's what she should be doing. She making a judgment call based on what? On what? A couple of churches you know about? There's hundreds of thousands of churches around. You know, y'all in Atlanta, there got to be a bunch of them. I know about 4 churches in Atlanta, and I don't even live there. I know the pastors too. And I know ain't none of them like that. That I do know. For the most part, most pastors have a job. As far as I knew, most of them have a job. Anyway. Back to the show. Let's see. Who am I? So they left on good conditions, and that was that. Oh, when she went back in the hair salon, Pam was like, you got in trouble. I know she read you. And she said, maybe God is trying to tell you something. And that was funny. That was funny. Because she said, could you dating that minister and stuff like that? And Karen's like, whatever. Whatever. So then they show Sabrina at the bank. Okay. And Sabrina's at the bank with Maurice, and some girl is banging on the door, and they won't let her in because the bank is closed. And she gives them the middle finger. I said, oh, snap. And Maurice is yelling, don't let that bitch in. She crazy. And so the lady walks away, and Sabrina is at the desk, and who comes by? Oh, what's his name? Jacoby comes by, and he gives Sabrina his reports, and she's like, oh wow, these are nice, they look great, they're balanced, and you got it balanced to the penny. And Maurice is like, oh please, I get my balance to the penny too, you know, so what, it's not that great. And she was like could you stop, Maurice? Don't be jealous. She's like, don't be jealous. And Maurice basically think he's trying to get his job. So he's so nasty to Jacoby. Jacoby's like, I don't want your job. And Maurice can't for the life of him be nice to that man. He's so nasty to him. And I don't like that. You got to give people a chance. You're the one who was out all that time. And they wouldn't have had to get somebody to replace you or fill in if you had gone back to work. But you were trying to get on disability. So that's what happens. So Jacoby tried to be nice to Maurice, but Maurice wasn't here, and he was like, I'm sorry to hear what happened to you. What happened to me? You know, the incident. What incident? You know, leave it alone. Don't try to be nice. And Sabrina said, why you got to be so mean? You need to stop it. And he's like, he trying to get my job. Ain't nobody want your job. Anyway, so the last scene is with Hayden. Hayden goes to see Andy in her office and congratulate her again. And he lets her know that she could go home now. Yay! And they still have some of her personal things like her laptop and phone. And he let her know that the FBI had a file on her, and it was a nice file. He said it wasn't bad. He got to peek and see some stuff about her, and she said, was it bad? He said, no, it was good. She said, I don't know if I like the fact that they got a file on me. He said, well, at least it's a good file. It's not a bad one. You know, it's all good. He said, but be careful. She's like, be careful. Why? He said, because Gary got bail, and he's out of jail, or supposed to be out soon. And she was like, so why are you saying be careful? He said, because an officer overheard him saying not so nice things. And she's like, what did he say? And he's like, no. He said, it was just something. She said, what did he say? I said, what you get steak with the brother for? He said, don't shoot the messenger. He's like, Gary said he's going to get his money from you. And he said he knows that you was out at a gay bar with some guy and stuff. And she's like, what? And he was like, yeah, he knows all the stuff about you. And I said, oh, man. So he's trying to tell her to be careful. And she's trying to act like, oh, there ain't nothing to worry about. I'm going to be okay. And he's like, look, if you need us to help you with this, let us know. You got to tell us. And I don't know why she got so defensive about it. I put it down in the comment section if somebody understand her defensiveness. But he's trying to be nice. And he said, I'm trying to say this as she said something about, he said, I'm just asking a question. She's like, oh, asking a question. He said, yeah, as a friend. She said, typical attorney. He said, no, as a friend. Oh, you my friend now? I said, what is wrong with her? The man was just trying to help her and help her man. And now she's getting stinky. Anyway, it goes on. He just said to be careful. Then it talked about Fatima. Fatima went to check on Zach and stuff, and they made arrangements to meet and stuff like that for the next day. They were saying the next day, but they was meeting that day. And then the last scene is Andy walking into the car garage, not being safe as the guy told her to be, thinking everything is all good. And she not paying attention, looking in her handbag, and who she run into? Gary. Gary jumps out of his car and he's yelling at her, get into the car. She's like, Gary, what is wrong? Get into the car. See, he looked like the type to whoop a woman's behind and don't think a damn thing or twice about it. So she better be careful, because I didn't like that at all. Anyway, that is the way that ended. I can't wait to see next week to see what went down. I really have a feeling that Hayden is going to be there in that garage and save her little ass, because she should have been paying attention to him, but she thought she could handle things on her own. I'm like, she looking all, and they told her about that. Her girlfriends told her about him. Anyway, y'all, this your girl Barbie J saying happy Thanksgiving. See you next week.